nationwide digital signature collection for the proposed Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill of 2022. The launch was preceded by a peaceful march in the city centre and to Parliament buildings to raise awareness of the proposed amendment bill. The movement is proposing a raft of changes to the 2010 Constitution through the bill, with officials of the movement saying changes to the Constitution will be beneficial to common mwananchi.
I'll read the following amendments we are proposing. Number 1, Deputy President to be disqualified from running for President immediately his or her boss leaves office until 5 years, so that he can focus on delivering as Deputy President, not campaigning and staying on top of cars. Number 2, governors to be disqualified from contesting for office of Senate immediately after their term until after 5 years, so that Senate can independently oversight county government. Number 3, state senator and governor in a county should not come from the same party, so that they can oversight each other. If they're in the same caucus, they are just friends. 4, EACC to have prosecutorial powers to prosecute theft. 5, give more money to political parties with the highest representative of women, youth, the elderly, and people with disability. 6, set up the Health Service Commission to address the HR issues in health, so that doctors, nurses don't go on strike, because we suffer.
Now, over 15,000 teachers are due for promotion at a cost of 1.4 billion shillings. The Chief Executive Officer of the Teachers Service Commission, Nancy Macharia, says the process of promoting teachers will begin after the national examinations. Nancy, who was appearing before the Committee on Education in Parliament, had a hard time explaining how the Commission was planning to compensate teachers who were due for promotion were retired before they were promoted. The teachers who are going to be promoted will fill vacancies that are as a result of natural attrition.
Sorry, could just be a point of terminologies. We're talking of swap and replacement. Are they different?
Yes, they are different. You see, swap is the number of teachers we should promote is 15,522. That is what is expected when the exams come to an end. We shall advertise for those vacancies, and the cost is at 1.4 billion. But Chairman, I think we need money. We need to be assisted here. These vacancies are as a result of natural attrition. We have not been given money by Parliament to just promote teachers. Of course, this will have a ripple effect, because if a teacher has retired at Alliance and then we promote, then it will have a ripple effect downwards. But this is just for natural attrition. Parliament.
Occasion by natural attrition.
Yes.
Occasion by natural attrition, that is teachers moving out of the field. Like Orero here is a member of Parliament.
Yes, like so now his position.
You need to replace him, is it?
Yes.
One who has passed on,
yes.
One who has gone out of the field. So that is a cost of 1.4 billion. How many are those teachers?
15,522.
You have the money for that?
Yes.
And what of the others? Because I asked the question on all the cadres.
All the cadres,
yes.
We have not been allocated any money. We can do the mathematics after this, but we have no. The only ones that we know we should advertise after exams,
yes,
are the 15,522 at 1.4 billion.
And then you'll give us the whole figure.
Yes, and of course it will have a ripple effect, so that it goes even to the teacher in class. But then we would appreciate if we got more money, so that we are not only replacing those who have left through natural attrition.
Now, at least 4,000 families in Loitoktok, Kajiado County have received relief food from well-wishers as hunger continues to ravage the region. Speaking during the event at Lenkai Primary School located in Kimana, Kajiado South, the well-wishers urged both the national and county government to escalate their response to the unfolding crisis. They proposed, among others, the provision of irrigation equipment and water to local farmers to increase food production in the region.
Chairman.
Sengine watoto wanachota maji, wanarokota kuni, hakuna kitu ya kupika.
The need is tremendous. We are barely scratching the surface with what we're doing here today. There is a lot of hunger and there's a lot of people that are still in need.
Any other person there who can be able to support in terms of providing food for people in this area and across the country. It's really a big opportunity that can be able to change a lot of lives.
Tunataka kuhimiza serikali waweze kuweka mkazo sana kwa agriculture kwa sababu hiyo tu ndio itatuokoa na pia climate change. Watu wapande miti.
The droughts are becoming more and more frequent due to global warming. The government and the local administration to look at long-term solutions for food security.
Na ikiwa community ikisaidiwa kuweza kuharvest water na kutengeneza irrigation schemes, ndio tunaweza kuinua hali ya production katika hali sehemu yetu. Itabidi sasa watu wetu pia watuwahimize kubadili hali ya maisha ili kuweza kukabiliana na changamoto.
Now, Kadiege and Maihanyu residents in Laikipia West constituency have held peaceful demonstrations to protest the escape of 4 suspected vandals who are accused of vandalizing Gashi borehole. It was reported that the suspects vandalized the borehole and made away with the solar systems and pumps that had been installed to help pump water, but members of the public traced and managed to arrest 5 suspects and escorted them to Maihanyu police post, where they were later reportedly released. The residents are now demanding for their immediate rearrest and prosecution. However, Maihanyu location chief Francis Nyaga has assured residents that investigations into the disappearance of the 4 have already commenced, urging them to be calm.
We had water in this place and now we cannot see it because we cannot get the water because some people, very few people, young people has spoiled the borehole. They have stolen the solars.
Sora 10 zenye zilikuwa zimewekwa. Na hizo sora si watu wa mbali, ni watu wa area hii na tunawajua. Na tumewashika wote na tukawapeleka ndani tukiwa na chief na askari wake. Sasa kusitikisha kwamba jana walitolewa.
Why should they be released to have the information is already in their office? We should like to know why those people are doing that one, whether they are government employees or they are private employees.
The United Nations High Commission for Refugees, the UN Refugee Agency and Safaricom have today launched the Bonga for Life campaign to support drought-affected families in the Horn of Africa. Speaking during the launch at the UN headquarters in Nairobi, UNHCR representative to Kenya, Caroline Van Baren, said the Horn of Africa region is experiencing a catastrophic drought, the worst in 40 years, and has affected millions of people from Kenya, Ethiopia, and Somalia, rendering over 1.8 million people homeless. 24,000 others in need of critical support have arrived at the Dadaab refugee camp in Garissa County. Kenya needs $5.18 million to address critical humanitarian needs for refugees.
Daily arrivals, UNHCR and partners in Dadaab estimate that some 24,000 people have arrived since the end of September. UNHCR is providing new arrivals to Dadaab with clean drinking water and extending sanitation and hygiene facilities to the outskirts of the camps where most of these new arrivals are. Malnourished children are being screened and admitted to stabilization centers. Plans are also underway to boost assistance by providing additional basic relief items, including dignity kits for women and girls.
Basically, Bonga is all about how we can leverage on the assets which we have as a business to make a difference within the ecosystem or the society we operate in. And it's through this that we've come together with UNHCR to find ways in which we can work together. There are other interventions which have been happening, but these augments or complement what already exists. The situation is quite wanting, and when we all come together, actually, we are able to make a bigger difference and do much more. So technology is more of an enabler in this, and we are looking and seeking ways in which we can always use it for humanitarian activities. And the way Safaricom has done this is to ensure that we entrench this within the core and our DNA.
Stakeholders in the fight against the adverse effects of climate change have advised schools in Mbeere North, one of the semi-arid parts of Embu County, to look for alternative sources of energy rather than firewood and charcoal. The Director of Marketing at Equity Bank, David Nyamu, observed that the bank will partner with secondary schools and other institutions within Mbeere North constituency to ensure they turn to LPG, biogas, solar and other sources of green energy. The stakeholders were speaking during the signing of a memorandum of understanding and the launch of the Fair Climate Network to build the capacity of all groups and community-based organizations. Mbeere North MP Geoffrey Ruku said the organizations will be involved in sustainability, climate change, mitigation, environmental conservation, water resources management and agroforestry to ensure the improvement of food security and economic empowerment.
I'm here today for the signature of a memorandum of understanding on the Fair Climate Network, which is an initiative of the MP from Mbeere North and the head of Democratic Party in Kenya, Mheshimiwa Ruku. The Fair Climate Network should be a network where a lot of different initiatives will come together from CBOs from Mbeere North constituency and at the capacity building from other stakeholders who are playing a role in climate change and adaptation of climate change effects, and specifically on tree planting here in Mbeere North constituency and all the topics which are connected to that, because climate change of course goes much further than tree planting, which is a very important step starting doing, but the question generally is broader than that. And we will do workshops, we will do trainings for the CBOs here in the region to find a common approach about the ownership of this project, the impact each little activity can have.
Na kama benki ya Equity tumejitolea kupanda miti 35 million. Na so far tumepanda karibu ya miti 21.4 million. Na leo tumekuja hapa pia tupatiane miti ndio tuweze kuona hii area inaenea na iko mbele ya ile target tuko nayo kama the global world ya kuwa na forest cover ya 30%.
The government is seriously in the process of empowering the people, and the people when they are empowered, utakuta ya kwamba hawatakuwa na ile kazi ya kukata miti ili wachome makaa. Ni ukweli makaa inatakikana katika area tofauti tofauti ya kijamii, lakini pia kuna kitu inaitwa kwa lugha ya kimombo non-renewability of biomass. Hiyo ni percentage ile ya kwamba ukipanda mti, ukikata mti, probability ya mti ingine kumea ni kiwango gani.
Teachers who have specialized in Quran teaching and related Islamic subjects in Mombasa City County are up in arms, claiming that they are being offered few employment slots by the government. They regret that Islamic learners might miss out on basic Islamic teachings and social ethics, therefore calling on the government and TSC Chief Executive Officer Nancy Macharia to fairly advertise for slots. In addition, they have threatened to hold demonstrations on Friday if their plea is not taken into consideration.
Tumeghadhabishwa sana na kitendo cha TSC, MOE, namna walivyo distribute the IRE slots. Kwa kweli kilichotendeka si sahihi. Walimu wa IRE wamenyimwa nafasi kwa vigezo kwa kusingizia kwamba the teachers are not there, yet teachers are there, IRE teachers are there. They have been serving as BOM for decades. Hivi ninavyoongea kuna walimu ambao wamekuwa BOM katika shule ambao ni walimu wa IRE kwa miaka mingi, ila hali slots zikija wananyimwa nafasi hizi, na tukifuatilia tunazungushwa huku na kule, hakuna kitu chochote ambacho kwamba kinafanyika.
IRE as a subject should be taken serious. Failure to employ IRE teachers means the IRE students and the community in general will not get what is their right in the access of education.
Nancy Macharia should know that lack of employing these teachers is what they term as economic injustice. And economic injustice leads to crime. And crime leads to anarchy and lack of peace. We don't want to radicalize Muslim community. We don't want to radicalize any stakeholders. and this should be taken positively.
Security leaders from Busia, Kenya and Busia, Uganda have agreed to bring to an end the insecurities in the lake that has pitted fishermen from both sides with arrest and torture of illegal fishing. Busia County Governor Dr. Paul Otoma is calling for East Africa integration spirit to take center stage. The security leaders, who included Acting Busia County Commissioner Kipchumba Ruto, lauded the efforts made in ensuring fishermen from Kenya and Uganda going for fishing expedition within Lake Victoria safe as a way of expounding cohesion and integration in the interest of promoting trade. His counterpart from Uganda, Dr. Michael Shibuka, Resident District Commissioner Busia, Uganda, urged fishmongers from both sides to stick to Lake Victoria fishing regulations that include use of the right fishing gear to avoid animosity that has been witnessed lately between security agents from Uganda and Kenyan fishermen.
Livelihood issues are security issues.
So we'd like to build what we call brotherhood on matters security across the border of our two sisters states.
There are a lot of issues, but one thing that I'm convinced that is going to work out is the approach that myself, my brother Luto, and then our counterpart in Mayingo adopted to ensure we resolve the minor conflicts which are on the waters.
Calls have intensified for the government to legalize locally produced liquor as other brands pick traction as ventures for job creation and revenue collection. According to Busia County Assembly Speaker Frederick Odilo, Kenya needs to borrow a leaf from neighboring countries like Uganda and Tanzania, who have established local industries to package local liquor. However, in his Jamhuri Day speech, Acting Busia County Commissioner Kipchumba Ruto criticized the move, directing local administration to stage a crackdown on illicit brew. Funyula Member of Parliament Dr. Unda Mudenyo has called on security agencies to beef up security during the festive season to tame burglary and drug abuse among school-going children.
Tukienda sisi kama waheshimiwa wabunge pia kuna miswada tunataka kutengeneza. Mimi nikienda Uganda huko wananiambia kunywa Uganda warachi. Nikienda Tanzania naambiwa nikunywe konyagi. Nikikuja hapa nikunywe chang'aa kidogo wananipigia kelele. Na hii chang'aa tu ndio warachi. Hii chang'aa tu ni konyagi. Sisi kama assembly nafikiri kuna mswada ilikuja. Hiyo mswada tutaipitisha, tujenge viwanda yetu sisi wenyewe, tudistill pombe yetu, jina tutaitafutia.
Naomba serikali vitengo vya usalama, tafadhali. Tunaenda kwa mhula wa Krismasi ambapo usalama wangu na dorora. Tunakuomba tafadhali muongeze patrol, mkitaka chochote ambacho tunaweza saidia kama ofisi ya mbunge sisi tutasaidia. Haswa watoto wetu both wavulana na wasichana, kwa sababu kumekuwa na bangi mingi sana kila pahali.
Chiefs and police officers have been instructed to crack down on illicit brews within their areas of jurisdiction. Ban counterfeit products being sold within our area.
Now, farmers who've ditched food crop farming to cotton farming in Makueni County are now struggling to fight insects and diseases that continue to attack the plant. Indigenous cotton, the farmers say that they had great hope after the government started the distribution of the new variety of cotton commonly known as BT cotton, with the promise that it is resistant to insects and diseases, but it has turned into a loss-making venture. Now the farmers want the government to allow them to use indigenous cotton seeds to avoid losses in future days.
Nilikuwa napata mavuno zaidi. Nilikuwa napata kama gunia 25 hivi wakati mvua ilikuwa inanyesha sana. Lakini wakati huu mvua imefungua. Sasa hatupati hiyo mavuno kwa njia nzuri kwa sababu mvua hainyesha. Na ile pamba tunapata inaharibiwa ni wadudu. Kwanza ile tulipata ya kutoka India. Hiyo yenyewe ni mzuri lakini mvua ikitoka na inakuwa na wadudu mingi sana, iwezi kukua mzuri. Kwa hivyo inahitaji dawa ndio iweze kupata, na shida ni dawa kwa sababu uchumi inakuwa juu sana. Kwa hivyo ndio iko namna hiyo.
Ilikuwa ni shida ya wadudu. Wadudu walikuwa wengi
Ukiambiwa ununue dawa hii unanunua, unapiga hiyo wadudu inaama, inakuja wadudu wengine, unapiga inaama. Nikafanya mahesabu mapamba, nikaona iko na hasara kubwa. Kwa sababu mimi nimefunzwa juu ya kufanya mahesabu ya kilimo. Nikaona hiyo ni hasara kubwa, na ile ingine ilikuwa shida ya soko. Pesa zilikuwa chache kidogo tu. Ukifanya mahesabu ya ile umeingisha kwa shamba na ile umetoa, nilifanya kama nimefanya hasara.
Now let's cross over to Murang'a County, and at least 20,000 households are expected to benefit from the county's health cover christened Kang'ata Care in a bid to boost universal health coverage. Governor Irungu Kang'ata says the county has set aside over 170 million shillings for the cover that largely targets the needy and the elderly. At the same time, NHIF CEO Peter Kamoyo applauded the county government, saying the move will go a long way in ensuring more Kenyans contribute to the fund, which will see to it that many more Kenyans who cannot afford get access to quality healthcare access the same.
They can be able to get dialysis of up to 1 million per year. For those who have been paid for, they are able to go and get specialized surgeries. That is how to put money in the pocket, because what NHIF is doing is that it is saving you from spending money that you do not have. Your Excellency, the county of Murang'a has about 100,000 indigents. So meaning now we have supported about 40,000. And you've heard the governor promising another 10,000 and another 10,000. But also for us who are able to support, please let us enable. Natumia hata vidole kuingia kwa hospitali, na hospitali inaweza kutuma ujumbe na sisi tuwalipe. Na watu watajiandikisha, na tutazunguka kwa sub-county zote tuweze kuhakikisha tumeandikisha kila mtu, ndio kila mtu aweze kupata access to matibabu.
Now, cyclists from the Diani area, Kwale County, have called on the communities living in the coastal area to consider the protection of the marine environment. According to the founder of Diani Cycling, Peter Odanga, it is important to keep the coastal environment clean to attract tourists. Hotels in Diani have been awarded 7 times after being chosen as the best tourist destinations in Africa. In addition, the cyclists have emphasized the importance of cycling for exercise to improve health.
Zoezi hili kwetu limekuwa la maana, manake unaona uchumi wetu hapa Kwale na Pwani kwa jumla, uchumi wetu unapatikana kupitia watalii, na mazingara yasipokuwa ya kuvutia, basi watalii watapendezwa kuja. Sasa tumelichukulia kwa maana na tumesema tuanze na hiyo, ili watalii wakija wanapata beach ziko safi, na pia kule baharini tuna marine, tuna samaki, tuna vitu ambavyo vya maana. Kwa hivyo tukiwa na mazingara mazuri inasaidia sana, tusiharibu kitu ambacho kinatulisha.
With a lot of emphasis on environment. That is the reason why we have partnered with the Diani Cycling. First of all, to clean this beautiful beach. As you know, this beach has been voted best beach in Africa for 7 years running in a row, right? But we have to keep it clean. This is God's gift to Kenya.
It's not easy, it's tough, but we are up for the challenge. We are thankful for the gentlemen. They have really supported us, and we are going to catch up. I think we'll go ahead of them.
Sportian Badina Okor tallied 19 points as Kenya Ports Authority defeated Benin's side in a GBBC 83-45 to qualify for